We also went and looked at real off-road cars to see what their problems were, and we asked them about their suspension and why they did the things the way they did, so that when we designed our car that we'd have an idea basically what we wanted to try. Well, we tried a lot of things, and I can tell you not everything goes right. I mean, we built...
Whether it's the original RC10 or the all-new B7, testing plays an important role when designing a new chassis.
So testing went back a long ways. We tested for over a year on this car, and because it's actually almost 2 years, I think, we worked on this car. A lot of testing. We started from something usable that Kyle had brought into the team, into the shop, and tested with that.
The original prototype, I would say, for the B7 was a long arm B6.
Yeah, so one of the first tests that we did is we took a B6 platform and we wanted to try the new long arm geometry. So basically we have a standard B6 here, and then we have long arms on the front, long arms on the back. We had to make a custom chassis and custom gearbox for all the new clearances to maximize the amount of length we can get out of it. And this initial test was pretty good. We were happy with it. It was pretty interesting testing that back to back with a current car, and you know, the benefits that come with that.
There was a lot of incorporation of slow motion video, just static cameras in corners and that kind of thing to see the roll and the pitch of the car as it goes through the corners. A lot of video analysis, but a lot of it was after the fact. So we would, you know, spend the night at the track getting video, trying to make the car feel good, to drive around the track. Also looking at times to, you know, see where we're at in comparison to our B6 at the time.
We only had one running prototype, and we would have Billy or Kyle drive the car, and then the other person and myself watch, really try to analyze what we're seeing. The technology has come so far with the ability to record in slow motion, so you know, getting perspectives that you would never see during a race, whether it's, you know, right at the jump landing or the takeoff of a jump or an apex of a corner, and analyzing that information later or even on the spot makes a huge difference as far as learning and deciding what direction to go in the future.
So at the track, we basically start out by just throwing the car down the way we show up with it. So we try to take our best guess at a setup, and we start there. Most of the time we're fairly close. Sometimes we need to make big jumps in roll center or springs or oil and that kind of thing.
And we couldn't just test on one track, so they would go back east, test at a carpet track somewhere, or stay after a race. We had several big races that they can stay like the day after and then test on that same track after we've run all week. Racing and performing, you know the exact times that you're getting, the track's in its best condition. They stay the night afterwards and then test that night, getting data on where we're at and what we have for currently, come back and then realize that, you know, this could be better. So they'd make some more changes and I'd make some more parts and go testing again. So this car here, we probably had more testing all over the United States than any other car that we've ever made.
Throughout the process, there has been many hurdles to overcome, but the result was well worth it.
One of the more challenging things with the prototype car is that you don't want to break it because you don't have a lot of parts.
The parts are only so strong, right? So you can test for a while and then the holes would start to wear out or they'd break.
Yeah, lots of trials and tribulations of prototype testing. You know, you might have a great idea, it looks good on paper, it all checks out, you do a parking lot test, the car holds up, you get to the track, you do a figure eight to get the sauce off your tires and your car breaks. I think there was one night Kyle did that and he like tapped a pipe and the car broke. And it turned out we had weak hubs at the time, so we had to go back to the drawing board and beef those up.
Yeah, it was a lot of late nights down at SDRC for the initial testing, and that got us through our 4 prototype cars that we ended up doing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's brutal with the 3D printed parts. You crash, you're breaking a lot of parts in the car. So I can remember back to a night. It was probably 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Portland, and I'm testing with Brent. And we had just made these changes to the car. We're feeling good, and Brent goes out, first warm-up lap, does a somersault down the back straightaway. The car is in a million pieces. That was the maddest I've ever seen Brent get, but that was one of those times where I'm just like, all right, well, time to build a car again. And we just tore all the broken parts off and put new parts on, and we went back out and ran another few times.
Over the last 2 years of development, the RC10B7 is near completion. However, there is still more to be done before a final production model is ready to hit the track.